Now that WordPress is installed, we're ready to install the design template. While we will be using the back end or the admin panel of our website to do this, I'm going to reserve describing it in more detail to later videos when we're configuring the rest of the site. We will be using the Xstore template we found from ThemeForest. By the way, most premium templates come with install instructions, so we will be working through them to install this template. If you ever get any other websites or you happen to purchase a different template, the install instructions will be different and each install is slightly different. While they use very similar techniques, they might require slightly different things. Okay, so let's move on to installing this template. Okay, so make sure that you've opened up your Chrome browser and browse to your new website. So put in your domain name and hit enter at the top, and it should bring you to your domain, which hopefully should be looking similar to as this, with this little plant in the front. And once you've gone there and loaded that, type in /wp-admin. Okay, that is the login screen to the back end of our website. Make sure that you save this information. And what's really good is if you actually just minimize this slightly. Okay, so I've minimized it and I just got my desktop back there. So if you minimize it slightly, and you can actually take this and just have that link there. Okay, so now I have a link to my website. And I'll just maybe move it over here. This is going to change once we get the security set up, but at least we have that. Okay, so I'm going to type in my username and password. Just going to maximize this. So here we go. Log in. Just log into your site with your username and password. Now, once I'm in, this section here is all of the different options, or the different settings options and types of posts, pages, and things like that. We're going to be going into appearance for now. And like I said before, I'm going to be explaining the rest of this stuff in much more detail. Now, these are themes that are built into WordPress. And while you can get some free ones, I highly suggest that for any future websites, you purchase premium ones, because it just reduces that headache of trying to figure out how to install it and make it look how the demo looks like. So now that we know where the theme section is on our website, we need to actually open up the theme file. So we're going to extract that, and then we're going to look at the instructions, and we're going to follow through the instructions that come with the theme. Like I said before, most premium themes come with the installation guide on how to install it and get it to look exactly or pretty close to their demo, which is exactly what we want to start off with as a springboard, basically. So let's just minimize this window. So I'm just going to actually click on this little icon here. Hopefully it minimizes, or not minimizes, just shrinks the window here a little bit. And we're going to open up our website's file folder. Okay, and we see the theme file that we had downloaded from the previous video there. And I have this little icon here. You might not see this icon. You might have a different icon, and that's because I have a different program installed to open up zip files. These are zipped files. You might have one that's already built into Windows, and it should function very much the same. If you right click on it, use your right click button, you're going to have this extract files or extract here. Either one works. So I'm just going to go to extract here, and it's going to extract all of the files for me. And now it's extracted these. This is the folder I'm looking for, is the main theme folder. Okay, and I'm just going to double click on that. And this is all of the information that comes with the theme. It has a lot of great files in here. Some of this we're not going to have to worry about touching, but I will just briefly go over it. This is the documentation folder, and this is going to be the one that's going to help us around installing the actual theme into WordPress. This is nice because we actually have another folder called HTML, and that's the raw website. So if you don't have, if you have another website or you're not using WordPress, this is actually the raw files for that. The next one is licensing. That is your license file. So when you downloaded this, you are now licensed to use it for one domain generally. Okay, and some other stuff here. Okay, and then some of the other files like patterns and PSD, these are just help files or image files that might come with it. If you're a little bit more advanced, like for instance, this PSD one is a Photoshop file for the slider. Okay, and so if you ever have anybody doing graphic design work or somebody that knows that kind of stuff, it just it's an added dimension, which is great. Translation files, so these are for different languages. The good thing about WordPress is you can actually have your website in different languages. Okay, the one of the ones that we're really worried about more is the theme file, and so that's the one we're going to end up uploading to the website. So I just wanted to briefly go over that. So now that that's open, we can move on to the next stage, which will be loading this onto this site. So I'm going to follow along the exact documentation that they want us to follow to see what order they would like us to do. And some might have slightly different orders, but fundamentally the theme files, whatever theme you download, it's fundamentally the same or very similar. So now we're going to open up the index file under the documentation here. And so yours might have a whole bunch of documents or files down here, but the one you're looking for always is usually the one that says index. So we're going to double click on that. And this opened our browser up, and I'm just going to maximize this window. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go step by step through these instructions of installing this particular template. Your template, hopefully you're using the same one. If you're using a different one, then you would of course open up those documentations and go through step by step. Okay, so I'm just going to read through some of this, and we're going to walk through, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as any other theme file we'd normally do. It's going to want us to upload something. So I'm going to pause the video for a second, and we're going to find out where next step is. So first, this instructions is telling us even how to download it from the theme forest where we had purchased it from. So the instructions is actually saying how to download, which we've already done that. And then, so the next phase is actually getting it onto the website. So just as I suspected, it's going to want us to upload the theme file. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go to our website, and so hopefully you're already logged in from before here where we were just talking about themes. Make sure you're under the appearance and themes directory, and it should be in here. Okay, if you're not already logged in, remember, go to Nuki Learning or your website. So you'll be your domain /WP admin and log in with the username and password you set for your website when we set up WordPress. Okay, I'm going to click Add New. All right. So here we go, and what's great too is there's a whole bunch of other themes that you can actually download for free from WordPress. Now, I just want to keep in mind, or I want you to keep in mind that these are not premium themes, and so their installation might be much more difficult, and so you need a little bit more experience in WordPress to be able to install something like this. A lot of these are very generic as well. Okay, so we're going to upload our theme file. So I'm going to click Upload Theme. Okay, and so here we go. We have this open here, and we're going to choose the file that we want to upload, which is we've already extracted it. So I'll be showing you to do that. So click Choose File, and a window should appear here. And this is the files we have, our website files. I browsed to its location, and I'm just going to go into the theme folder that we had extracted from the zip file, and I'm looking specifically for this one here. It's this one is 23 megabytes or so, and that's the one I'm going to actually upload to the site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it and click Open. Your theme file, hopefully if you use the same one, it will be exactly the same with the version. Sometimes it'll just be the name, like xstore.zip or something like that. So, but this is how the instructions has said how what you need to look for their theme file. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight it and click Open. Okay, and so now I can see it here, and it's sort of listed its name in the background, and I'm going to click Install Now. So it's going to load this theme and install. It might take some time here. Okay, so normally the theme would just install perfectly fine for us and it would just show up there and allow us to activate it. But it seems like we're having a problem, and sometimes some hosts have settings on them that don't allow us to run processes for very long. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the other way of doing this, because either this is going to work for you or it's not. And so if it's not going to work, we're going to do it the other way. So I'm going to show you that now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up cPanel. So I'm going to open up cPanel, and so hopefully you've got your link set to that. And let's use our username and password for cPanel. Okay, and I've got my username and password set, and I'm going to go ahead and log back in. Oh, maybe I didn't copy my password properly. There we go. Okay. So once we've logged in, we're going to go back to the same folder. Like I said, there's not much you do in this cPanel unless you're an experienced web developer. And so is the file manager. So I'm going to click on that, and again we're going to click on public HTML, and we're going to click on WP content. Okay, and the thing we're going to click on now is themes. So I'm going to double click on themes. And so here's the themes here, and we're going to actually upload our theme file here. So just like we did before when we did WordPress, we're going to click the upload button, and we're going to come to this window again. Okay, so I'm going to open up my window here and go to your website's files folder again. So this is the main one. You have WordPress and the theme file. Double click on the theme folder, so it has all of our documents in here again, all of our files, and I want this main one here. So I'm going to click on that, okay, and I'm going to click and then drag it in again over. I'm going to hover over the browser icon down here and drop it in. So it's going to let us do that. So let's just wait for it to upload. Okay, it's done. So I'm just going to click back here, this back button, now that it's done. And so I'm going to see the theme files that are in here, and these are for each year of, that's how WordPress does it, and this is our new one. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right click on it and go extract. Okay, so make sure it says public HTML WP contents themes. We're going to extract those files. Okay, and we're going to click close. Okay, now you don't see anything that's happened here. That's fine. We're going to click this reload button. Okay, now we see an Xstore folder. This Mac OS X thing, don't worry about that. What you can do is highlight it and click delete. Where are you? You're up here. Okay, we're going to delete that one because we don't need that. And we're also going to delete the zip file here as well. So I'm just going to delete that, and we're going to click on skip the trash. Perfect. Okay, so we've done that, and we're also going to do upload one more file. We're going to click upload. Okay, and we're going to go back to our folder here, and we have some themes have a child theme. And this is for later on down the road. If you ever get a web developer that needs to customize WordPress, they'll need this. So let's install it because it's already there. If you download a theme that does not have this file, don't worry about it. Just skip this part. But we have one, so we're going to do it. So I'm going to click and drag this in over the browser window. Drop it in. I'm going to click go back. All right, here it is. I'm going to right click on it again, extract, and make sure it's in the right location again, the themes. Okay, and there we go. Click close. I'm going to reload it to make sure it's right, and what you should see is the theme name -child here. So you have your theme and your theme -child, and that's what we want. I can highlight this and click delete. Okay, perfect. So we've done that. Now we'll just leave this open in case we need to come back here, but I think we should be good. We're going to reopen our website because we lost the link there. So I'm just going to log into it. So yeah, we're going to go to our website /WP admin. If you're not already there, hopefully your website, your back end of your website is still open. And I'm going to appearance and themes again on the left hand side. Okay, now we should see our theme here, Excellent. It's not the one that's active. This one says it's active. We were going to be changing that to this one, okay? What we're going to do is if you have a theme that says child, that's the one you're going to activate. If you do not have your theme as a child, then you just activate the one that's by itself. In this case, because we have a child theme, we're going to activate that one. Perfect. So here we go. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start running the setup as they needed to in the instructions. So in the case of this theme, which looks like it's a really good theme, I'm just reading through the instructions a little bit more. And the next, it tells us how to do an upgrade, but it doesn't really tell us the actual installation. And I think that's because if I go back to, if I go back to the website where we just activated the theme here, there's a button that says run the setup wizard. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run the setup wizard. Okay, so here we go. We are going to look for and go through this in step by step. So here we go. Now it's giving us some instructions. It's going to go through step by step through each things. And you know what? This is a really, looks like it's going to be a really easy theme to install. Some themes have a little bit more, in-depth step by step to get them installed. But so this is going to be great. It's going to be easy. So I'm going to click Let's Go. And I'm just going to reiterate that on your X store or your themes instructions, it's going to tell you exactly how to do it. Okay, so let's just go through here, and it wants us to activate this first. So that's probably the first step in making sure you put your activation code. Now that activation code is going to be in your should be in your licensing files. Otherwise, if you follow these instructions here underneath your download, so you have to go back and log into ThemeForest, and it shows you where to go. So we can just do that now. So make sure that when you go, open up a new tab and log into themeforest.net. Link is in the description. If it's not there, just browse to themeforest.net. That's where you downloaded your theme files. Okay, once you're there, click on the little drop down by your little picture, and that's your account. Okay, and just go down to the download section. And what you want to do once you're there is actually find your theme. So right here, here's the theme, the X-Store theme that I downloaded, and just click the download button here. So what you can do is once you've done that, you can look at your license. So I'm going to click on the license button. It's going to open up and it's going to download it to my computer. So once it's done that, you want to open it up, and it's going to give us a purchase code. Okay, this purchase code is licensed to you directly. Okay, and I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to highlight it, right click, copy. Okay, and I'm going to go to my theme setup, and I'm going to right click and paste it into this purchase activation code. So I'm going to activate the theme. Okay, excellent. So now we have an activation. I'm going to click continue. Okay, so perfect. Now we're just going to go through this, and it looks like there's a child theme here, which we've already put. Looks like we're going to skip that one because I think we did it already. Okay, we already put the child theme in there. So, all right, default content. So this is which one do we want to select for our particular website. And I would suggest that you use the same one as me. Otherwise, you can select your own, and hopefully it's similar in what you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this and pick one that I want to use for this. So just like how we had before, one of my more favorite ones is this Home Simple. So I'm going to click on that one. Okay, that's the one I should have activated, it looks like. All right, so if I scroll down again, I've got it checked off. Excellent, I'm going to click continue. Okay, so it looks like it needs a bunch of stuff, which we're going to have to install. Also, it has a bunch of other extra things, additional, but it's not required, that we want to do. So I'm just going to scroll through these and see exactly what they are and make sure they're things that I would like. So going through this, there's a few things that I would highly recommend. Contact form 7 in this case, and we can do cookie notice. So that's what that does is when somebody comes to your site, it just says, hey, we have some cookies. Are you okay with that? And cookies are just a small file that most websites leave on your computer, and it leaves a little bit of information. So the next time your website loads, it already has some stuff saved there. And so it's always good to have that. We'll put Google Map in there, infinite scroll. That's instead of we having pages 1, 2, 3 at the bottom of your website, it just keeps going with, you can keep scrolling down. And let's see, MailChimp is a good thing for mail subscriptions and setting up mail lists for that. So you can always install that if you wish. And I'm going to do wish list. So we're going to do that one. This WooCommerce Amazon is pretty interesting. And if you're an Amazon affiliate and you are not directly, looks like you're not directly selling stuff on your website, but actually just linking to products on Amazon, you can actually use this plugin. I'm going to skip that because this video is about selling your own products on Amazon. Okay, and I'm just going to click continue. Okay. And just let it run through its installation here. All right, the installation took a little while for all these plugins, and so I'm just scrolling up, as we can see, it's all success. It's installed WooCommerce, which is WooCommerce is the main plugin that does all of the e-commerce portions, Visual Composer, and all these other things. Please see some supplementary videos I'm going to include on how to install some of this, especially WooCommerce, manually. So some themes do not automatically install it for you. And so I'm going to make sure that we talk about that in a supplementary video. In fact, what we'll probably do is I'll have a separate video on installing a theme that's not as easy as this one, a little bit more complicated for those who are interested. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and click continue. Excellent. So it's given us help and support stuff. So we can always click on there to help on any of that sort of stuff. So this is great too. They even had a support person just message me right away. I think that's awesome customer service. Okay, so I'm just gonna click continue. Excellent. The website's ready, so let's go check it out. Perfect. So it's installed everything for us, even the images and everything. So this is my site here. It's automatically installed. I'm very impressed on how well this went. And I'm just going to double check the instructions to see if there's anything else that we might have missed. And looking through the instructions, I didn't see anything in particular that we need to do at this point. What I'm going to do is just click on our dashboard here. So when you're logged into your website as an administrator, you'll have this bar at the top, and that is your administration bar. A normal person who has an account on your website would not see that, but because you're an administrator, you will. So I'm just going to click on the dashboard so it'll have your tag there. And as you can see now, we've got a whole bunch more things on the side of our website. It's installed a whole bunch more plugins for us, and we have got much more options. So in subsequent videos, we're going to be talking a little bit about setting up the actual theme or configuring it to how we want it to look for our particular website. So that's going to be in the future. And I'm going to go, at that time, I'm going to go through step by step and going through what each of these things are. Some of these things are default part of WordPress, and some of these things are added because of plugins. Like for instance, the WooCommerce option, the e-commerce part was added. So we're going to be doing that in subsequent videos. Congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back. You've actually set up a theme. In fact, this is probably one of the easiest themes I've ever seen to install. And so it was like 3 or 4 clicks. And some are more detailed and a little bit more complicated, not too much more. And I'm going to be releasing some additional videos on how to install a little bit more complicated ones. Okay, so let's see how our website looks to the general public at this point, and let's see what we've accomplished. Okay, so if you go up to make sure you're open in the Chrome browser, and on this side is this 3 little dots here. If you click on that and go open in incognito window, what that does is it opens up a window that has a completely separate sessions, and it doesn't hide your browsing or anything like that from anybody, except it just doesn't save some stuff. So you know, it helps you to have multiple sessions open. They're called sessions. But so we're going to look at our website here, and just to see again how it looks to the general public. Oh wow, it's already loaded up. Great. And I'm just going to scroll down. I like how this top menu just comes down nice. Some of the pictures don't come through. The reason why is because these are licensed images that you can't use on your website. They're just there for demo purposes, so they didn't put any on the product. So we're going to have to go ahead and update those, or when we put our own products on there. And so I'm just going to scroll through, make sure everything looks good. Excellent. So you can see how on the top here there's some links to pages, portfolio. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, so I think this is looking pretty good. This concludes the section on installing the template. The next thing we're going to be doing is installing extra plugins, and these plugins are going to help with things like mail, security, and things like that. These are extras that I highly recommend doing, and it's going to really boost your website and the things that we can do with the website. So excited to move on to the next video, and we'll see you soon.